So Ed, you were mentioning something really interesting to me, something called a V2X. Can you just explain what that is and what the potential uses of it are?
V2X, sometimes called vehicle to everything, is really about how vehicles can communicate with their surroundings to improve safety or efficiency or convenience. So the X can be several different things. It can be V to V, that would be vehicle to vehicle. It could be I, vehicle to infrastructure, P, vehicle to pedestrian, N to the network, D to the device, like your smartphone, say, and then also to the grid, V to G. So each one of those provides different types of benefits. So let's start off with V to V. So that would be where vehicles could do things like share their current speed, their position, what their heading might be. And you could use something like that, for instance, to say, oh my God, this vehicle going at this speed with this heading, there's a potential collision here, and the two vehicles talk to each other, maybe even leveraging camera radar data from each of the vehicles to avoid that collision, say, and take evasive action. It was first introduced, or one of the early introductions was the 2017 Cadillac CTS. So anyone else driving a Cadillac CTS, those two Cadillacs could actually communicate with each other. And Mercedes has also done something similar. Vehicle to infrastructure is when the vehicle speaks to the infrastructure around a road or a highway. So for instance, like a traffic light. And or it could be a sign, or it could be the infrastructure, or some sort of a group within a city is telling you about road conditions or alerting you to accidents, that type of thing. And Audi actually had a system called Audi Traffic Light Information. Very, very interesting in that it would say, hey, there's a traffic light coming up. If you maintain this particular speed, you'll be able to go right through it. Or, hey, don't bother. It's not going to change for the next 45 seconds or a minute. You can go ahead and slow down and approach it at less of a speed. So that helps traffic flow and that type of thing. Vehicle to pedestrian, that's where the vehicle talks directly to the pedestrian or smartphone. And autonomous cars are taking advantage of this, where as an autonomous car is approaching an intersection, it might make a sound or have a little sign on it that says, hey, I'm about to stop, or I'm going through the intersection, if it anticipates that pedestrian's about to jump in the road, say. Vehicle to network, you're probably already taking advantage of that with infotainment, navigation, those types of things. And in effect, it turns all the other drivers on the road into eyes and ears for you, especially to detect those policemen that are hiding, around the corner or say down the road. Vehicle to device, that's also where your smartphone could be used, say, to warm up your car or to track it, those types of things. So remote start, climate control, that type of thing. And finally, vehicle to grid, where you can optimize the charging time when rates could be lower. So it's communicating, your car's communicating with the grid for that, or even set electricity back in the other direction. Of course, there's issues with privacy, who's going to pay for all this infrastructure and all the laws that are around it. But those are things that are hopefully are being resolved as we speak. Now, how does this all help motorsports? And that really falls into probably three categories: strategy and performance, safety, and the spectator experience. So first, from a strategic decision standpoint, all the data that you're gathering about your team's car and all the other team's cars that are out on the track helps you figure out and adjust your race strategy on an ongoing basis as you're moving through a race. So optimizing your pit stops or figuring out what tire to change to, that adjustment of strategy in real time is really important. Spectator engagement, we're seeing this every time, say, for instance, when we watch a Formula One race or really any type of motorsports. The broadcasts now are so enhanced with all the information you see. Sometimes you'll see on the Halo where they'll do an augmented reality, where they'll put on the speed and other information on that halo while the car is going down the track. And there is, for instance, Formula One has a thing called F1 TV Pro. You can pick your own camera angles you'd like to look at. You can select the telemetry data that you want. You can see what gear they're in, when they apply the brakes. Here, listen to whatever team radio you want to. In effect, you can create your own virtual pit wall. That's exactly what you want to look at. And there's also, if we start to look at the area of safety, now there's always been a black box in Formula One cars for many, many years now. There's other technologies that are out there that, for instance, can put the flag, an indicator of what the flag is, right in front of the driver electronically inside the car. There's a company called Flagtronics that does that. I actually worked with the FIA on a project for rally safety where we put autonomous car sensors inside rally cars to detect the enthusiastic spectators that like to jump in front of cars at the last moment. That information could be sent to the safety officials who could go out there then and pull everyone hopefully back into safety. And there's also another company which has done some testing. I don't know how widely it's used, but it's called AutoTalks, together with another company called Grip. And there they have V2V communication between cars. So if you think about racing, if you're around a hairpin or maybe over a hill, there's a car stop just over that. You don't know it's there. And with V2V, car-to-car communication gives the driver a warning, say, hey, better slow down. There's something over that hill or around that corner. So many, many ways that enhancing communication can help both on the road and in racing.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, this weekend just gone, we had an IndyCar race in Toronto where there was a car in the barrier and it was round a 90-degree corner, and people just kept piling into that car because they couldn't see the car before they went into the corner because the yellow flags had literally just come out. So something like a V2V communication with that would have been very handy. So, but yeah, no, it's fascinating to hear that it's got so many different applications for kind of pretty much all facets of life that involve a car. So yeah, fantastic stuff there, Ed. Feel free as well to suggest any topics for us to talk about. You know, Ed's a ex-VP of Siemens Motorsports, so you know, we've got a lot of experience there to kind of tap into. And of course, as well, if you want to see more content like this, do head over to themotoringchronicle.com, subscribe, like, ring the bell, all that good stuff. And yeah, see you for the next one.